welcome back to the Animated Arcade. I'm Aaron.
I'm John.
And today we're joined by no one. No guest star. You had Cole back-to-back for the last two, so either enjoy or turn us off, depending on what you want.
We haven't heard yet what anyone thought of our guest star because we're recording this before those episodes go out.
Yes, and before we've even re-listened to them.
Yeah. But this is a video game cartoon podcast where we watch rich
animations.
Yeah. The richest and creamiest animation. We watch, review, riff on, and share trivia about video game cartoons. In this case, we're continuing through the Super Mario Bros. Super Show and The Legend of Zelda.
In what order?
Air date order.
And would you be able to watch this one on the N-Circle app?
Maybe. Yeah, okay, so if you wanted to watch the episode we're watching today, you can watch it legally on the Wild Brain Superheroes YouTube channel,
Amazon Prime,
and possibly the N-Circle TV app for Amazon Fire and Roku. But when we tried it, it threw a little hissy fit and skipped us 4 episodes ahead.
Which we did not want.
No.
Because I think it put us to Koopa Claus.
Yeah, or it tried to keep showing us Elvin Lives, which is a ways down the line for us yet. But the episode that we are watching is episode 42 of the Super Mario Bros. Super Show.
And Legend of Zelda.
In air date order. The artist is the live action segment, plural. And the cartoon is the 10 Koopmandments, originally aired October 31st, 1989. Yeah. So happy Halloween. Let's talk about Moses.
Exactly. Remember, Mario is an anagram for Ariam.
I think that sounds like a good segue.
With the Mario Brothers and plumbing's
our game.
We're not like the others who get all the fame. If your sink is in
trouble,
you can call us on the
double.
We're faster than the others. You'll be hooked on the brothers.
And sisters. Hooked on the brothers.
Yo, Aaron. So, the artist.
Let's talk about the artist. It starts off with Mario and Luigi doing art, as they often don't do.
Well, no, Mario had his arms full of, groceries or something, or he was getting ready to cook. And Luigi was reading the paper.
Yeah, I thought it was doodling.
Nope, he was reading the paper.
But the pizza phone does what it does so often.
Finally, for the first time in a while, it rings. Oh, we don't have a cheer button.
No.
It's just the laugh button. Anyway.
Well, John, add in a cheer back there.
You got it. But.
Thanks, best buddy.
No. So, Mario's got his hands full, Luigi's reading the paper, and the pizza phone rings.
I hate this squeaky chair.
Yeah, Aaron's got a squeaky chair. I've got a kind of crunchy chair. Mine does this. Or this.
Mine does this.
That's awful.
Whee!
Yeah. If you go down, I'm not going back for you.
Carry on the podcast without me, John.
Yeah. At last.
Yeah.
So, who's on the pizza phone, Aaron? Ooh.
Oh.
Also, yeah, okay, we're recording in a different space than normal, and we have to sit beside each other instead of across from each other. So we're going to get some mic bleed, especially if I turn towards Aaron and talk to him.
And if I turn towards John and talk to him...
It'll probably sound the same as it already does because my mic is pointing at him.
Yeah.
I might change that between episodes, but right now I'm going to leave it be because no one wants to hear this.
While you're doing that, can you just quickly change it?
I suppose I could.
Now that you've done it once before.
I sound like my ex-wife. Okay, there we go.
Only because I am your ex-wife.
We'll see if that helps. Who's on the phone, Aaron?
Mario's going, yes, really? Really? Huh? Okay, I'll tell him. All right. see you soon, or however it went.
Something like that.
And then gets off the phone and tells Luigi, it's like, oh yeah, that was the artist for the contest giving you a call, saying that you drew the absolute best Tippy Turtle.
I think it was Tippy Turtle, but I didn't hear it until like the third try.
Yeah. Tippy Turtle. And that he's coming over to mentor.
Who, Tippy Turtle?
No, the artist is coming over to mentor
Luigi.
Luigi.
The green one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look,
Yoshi.
this episode did not grab us.
Resonate.
Yeah.
Last.
That guy really didn't like it. Yeah, this wall is opposite a staircase in my apartment building. And, no, there he's still going. See, when he gets to the landing between each floor, we don't hear it. It's the steps that we hear.
Yeah.
Anyway, now that he's gone.
Good riddance.
Yeah. I don't know who that guy is, but that guy sucks. So,
Is that on your list?
yes, it is.
Good.
It's like number 3. So, we should talk about... Well, actually, okay, so...
It cuts to the cartoon at this point after the phone call and the conversation with Mario and Luigi.
Yeah, that's right. It ends with Luigi sort of getting ready and Mario going up to the sink to wash his hands.
And John noticed that the plumbing shot has been rearranged again.
Little bit. Well, the camera angle didn't help. But the fridge was in the right spot, but normally there's a little kitchen counter with a stove, and that seemed to be missing. But the sink and the medicine cabinet that celebrities have sometimes appear in was still there.
I keep on forgetting it's not just Magic's medicine cabinet.
No, well, one other person appeared in it. The magician guy, I think.
2.
No. Oh, who else?
There's the magician as well as Neatness Counts. Right at the start.
Neatness Counts appeared in the mirror.
Yes. What's her name? Who gets dirty.
Oh, yeah, Nicole Eggert.
Yeah.
Oh, God, this is going to be so echoey. I got to put those panels up. So we cut back, and Luigi goes to answer the door when it rings.
And who should it be? A man with a bandage wrapped around his ear? Vincent Van Gook.
Yeah. The way
Gook.
Yeah, but luckily it's not pronounced the way that the word that's spelled like that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's supposed to be like Vincent Van Gogh.
Yeah.
I think it's a joke on how people still don't know. Are you supposed to say Van Gogh or Van Gogh?
Or Van Gogh.
Yeah, or go. What do they say in that Doctor Who episode? Is it Van Gogh?
I think it's Van Gogh.
Okay. Anyway, this guy ain't that.
No. And talking about how brilliant Luigi is and how it was the best Tippy Turtle he's ever seen and how the place smells of artistic creativity or damp gym socks.
Yeah, and Luigi says, close. That's Mario's meat sauce.
Yeah. Which, good line. Probably the best line of the entire episode.
It's in there.
But as walking through, Mario is standing there waiting for Vincent to walk by, and then he just plops spaghetti on a newspaper.
Yeah, there's a newspaper conspicuously on the middle of the 3 steps leading up to the kitchenette and the one room. I think it's just Mario is like watching this guy talk to Luigi and leans over and loses his spaghetti. That's him in the corner. But anyway.
I thought it was his mom's spaghetti.
Oh, eyes wide. So.
And he only lost it because his palms were sweaty.
Thank you, Aaron.
You're welcome.
The more you explain it, the funnier it gets.
It's from an Eminem track. Off of his movie 8 Mile. We should watch that. I've never actually really watched it. I've had it on in the background, but I've never sat down and watched it.
Yeah, me too. I remember wondering as a kid, it's like, so why are those guys beating him up in front of his trailer? Is it because he wants to be a rapper, or is it something else? Probably something else.
I'm pretty sure it's because he wants to be white.
So all of a sudden, the spaghetti hits the floor, and Van Gook says that that's brilliant and stuff.
It's the greatest piece of art he's ever seen.
Yeah. And Luigi is not pleased.
No.
Because this was his moment.
Didn't I draw the best tippy turtle? What is a tippy turtle?
I think it's just like a cartoon character, like a
Donald Duck?
Yeah, but in the... You know those art contests where it's like it shows you a picture of a cartoon animal and you have to draw that in the blank space underneath? I think that's the contest that Luigi entered.
Oh.
Sorry, every time you guys hear an echo, that's me turning slightly towards Aaron.
This is apparently Tippy Turtle.
Oh, the little turtle with the page boy cap. And that is from an actual, like, I think I used to see commercials on TV for that. For drawing that. You send your drawing of him. Yeah.
Over $5,000 in prizes awarded monthly for Tippy Turtle, Pirate, and Tiny.
Okay, yes, I recognize all three of those.
You like to draw, or paint, or maybe just sketch and doodle? Well, if you do, chances are you have the interest needed to become a serious art student. To find out, simply call toll-free, and Art Instruction Schools will send you this enjoyable art test. There's no cost or obligation. Take the test at home in your spare time and mail it to us when you're done. Our experts will review and grade your test. Call our toll-free number today for your free art test. Don't let the wonderful world of art pass you by. To get your free art test, without cost or obligation, call this toll-free number. Don't delay. Call this toll-free number now.
So, if you all win $5,000 in prizes awarded monthly, you may win one of 5 $995 art scholarships.
Yeah, that's what this is. Luigi won lessons with this guy.
Yeah. Now we have a little bit more context, and it makes me hate it more.
Yeah. Although, you know what? It helps that now I get that it was kind of a more timely reference.
Yeah.
If they had shown Luigi's picture of Tippy Turtle, it would have made more sense immediately. But I think Tippy Turtle would be copyrighted.
Yeah. In
fact, they're lucky they said it. I'm surprised they didn't call him Tommy Turtle or Timmy Turtle.
Maybe they were saying Tappy Turtle.
No, I'm sure, once I could actually hear it, that it was Tippy Turtle. That
was the other thing. The sound on this one wasn't the greatest.
No, it was a low one.
Yeah. But at this point...
That's where we cut for the Zelda preview.
And we get more information. The sword breaks instantly. The seller of the sword sells it to Ganon. Ganon is pleased. Link is upset.
Yeah. Yeah, I know this one pretty well. And
the little bit of color between the pouch turns from beige to brown.
Oh, yeah. That only happens in this one Zelda episode. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. So we cut back from the Zelda preview. Oh, at the beginning of the Zelda preview, Mario is now dressed up in an artist's smock, but with his plumbing belt over it. And a straw hat. Yeah. Because Van Gogh wore a straw hat.
Yeah.
Because he's Italian.
And Mario's on the left side of Van Gogh.
Yeah. And that'll come back in later, too. But, and he shouts because he figures he can't be heard in that ear. And then the guy says, I'm not Van Deaf.
I'm not Vincent Van Deaf.
Yeah.
And then we come back, and Mario has his art on display, and Luigi's going and having a little bit of a temper tantrum about the fact that he was the one who won.
Yeah. But there's a couple easels up, and one's got a slice of pizza pinned to it and some popcorn, and I'm assuming pasta sauce and stuff. And the other's pretty much the same.
And this entire time, Van Gook is giving art lessons since pretty much he walks in. Lesson number 1.
Always carry a sharp pencil, and he has one behind his ear.
Lesson number 2, do not poke me in the ear with a sharp pencil.
Yeah. And then Mario gives lesson number 3 at this point. Art should not only look good, but taste good.
Yeah.
And he eats some of the popcorn off the easel. Popcorn that had previously been on a pizza.
Yes. Popcorn pizza. We still need to make that. I won't have it.
Yeah, but without the shells, that's the trick. So, Luigi shows a pretty interesting little sketch etching of a piece of pizza on a table with a glass.
And it has the traditional picnic tablecloth.
Yeah, but that's also the tablecloth under the...
On their table.
That's also the tablecloth that's under the pizza phone.
Yeah.
Specifically. It should have been a drawing of the pizza phone.
It should have been a drawing of the pizza phone.
That would have been art.
It's a pre-drawing of the pizza phone.
Oh yeah, it's in memoriam of the pizza that gave its life to be mutated into a rotary phone.
Oh.
So Luigi sulks off to read his newspaper again. So that's a Chekhov's newspaper.
Yes.
Just as Van Gogh is telling Mario how much he's going to have to pay for these lessons.
And Mario originally is like, yeah, no, not a problem. We're just floating in cash. No worries whatsoever. Which is a lie.
Yes.
It's 100% a lie. Vincent goes, that will be $1,500. This week's lesson is going to be $1,500.
Yeah.
Or dollarinos, or...
I think he said shekels.
Maybe.
Now, there's a dog barking in that hallway. And then, so it's just like Aaron's house. Oh, and also, Mario is going to be teaching Luigi his lessons. That's why Mario mentioned the should taste good. And that's when Luigi says, but doesn't show, that the newspaper says, this isn't Van Gogh. It's the guy who's...
pretending to be him to scam people out of money.
Yeah. At which point, Vincent runs off claiming he's got to get back to an old lady whose deck he was painting and apply the second coat before it gets dark.
Yeah. Plausible excuse. I'd believe it.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't doubt that he was in the middle of another job and he went off to scam people.
Yeah.
Mario tries to apologize.
And Luigi says, I just found out lesson 4. Not only should art look good, it should look good on you, and smashes Mario's art over Mario's face.
Yeah. His head's sticking out through the easel. Mario's kind of dazed, and then Luigi says, it should taste good too.
Yeah.
And licks some of the pasta sauce off. And then we do the Mario.
Yeah. All in all, pretty bad.
Pretty bad. This was easily bottom third.
Yeah.
But above the usual bottom third freaking skimmers like Cher's Poochie and The Orphan.
Yeah.
But it's in there. But while we do the Mario, we also learn the identity, who seemed oddly familiar already, of Vincent. And that was...
Larry Gelman. Or Spellman, depending on which show you're watching.
Uh-huh. And who's Larry Gelman, sir?
Oh, we had him as Sigmund Fruitcake in episode 7.
Yeah, episode 7. That's Bonkers from Yonkers. And what was that cartoon? Not that it matters for this.
Bonkers from Yonkers. And... the Great Gladiator Gig.
Oh, yeah. And a cartoon that we liked. And I remember liking Bonkers from Yonkers.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was Sigmund Fruitcake.
And he did a better job. This is his last appearance. This is his last appearance.
Foreshadowing. God damn it, people. Can't you take the elevator?
No, they're trying to live a healthier life.
When will they learn? Physical fitness, whatever. You're gonna die. Someone will kill you.
Oh.
That's
But-
an excuse for me to put that in later.
Physical fitness, whatever. You know, whatever. You do what you like to do, I do what I like to do, okay? But you're a sucker. You're getting fed this line about how, like, you're gonna live forever or whatever. You're gonna die. Someone will kill you. Someone will kill you with a knife. Make sure your abs are friggin' ripped. You got some good guns. You want to look good for when you get stabbed with a knife. Sorry, that's how it works.
Anyway, go on.
But yeah, if you want to listen to me talk about Larry Gelman, you can go to episode 7 of our show.
The funny stuff, quote unquote.
Yeah. And it's a funnier episode than this one was. This has been horrible.
Yeah, this was, like, not to bury the lead, this has been a lousy live action segment, and I don't remember us being too fond of the cartoon. Speaking of, you ready to get hooked on the brothers?
Yes,
Again?
but first, if you are listening to us on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I just subscribed myself.
Yeah, finally. Which was both good and bad because he pushed us from 69 to 70 subscribers. Leave it to you to ruin a good thing.
Someone
yeah.
had to. Might as well have been one of the co-hosts.
And if you're listening on your podcatcher of choice, give us a top rating and maybe even leave a comment. And make sure to follow the show so you get the new episodes every 2 weeks.
And make sure to leave a comment on what you see as the most important art lesson.
From this episode or just in general?
In general.
Very good.
What makes good art for you? How do you make good art? Are you the art, or is the artist the art?
Ooh, Death of the Artist, but in reverse. All right, let's get into the cartoon.
Now, evil Koopa and his troopers are
Up to misbehaving.
They kidnapped the Princess Mushroom Land needs saving.
Abusing and confusing, everybody discovers they can't help but be hooked.
On the brothers.
I was wondering if you'd pick up the ball.
At one point.
Okay, the 10 Koopmandments. And yes, we're going there.
We're in Pyramid Land.
We are in Pyramid Land. And this is one of those Koop has already taken over. And this is the third time now he's used his power to turn mushroom people into stone.
This time is the worst version of doing that.
Yeah, and probably also the worst use of the rocks.
Yeah.
So, Pyramid Land. Koopa is currently aliased as Koop Tut. And Mario, Luigi ride in on a camel, followed by Toad and the Princess on another one.
And they're riding on the humps,
Yeah.
not between.
That's not how that's supposed to work. But that's okay. The animation is so jittery. It's more like they're sliding along anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But you've got the plumber's log. Was it 1000 BC or something?
Yeah.
And Mario basically exposits that they'd heard that Koop Tut had been capturing the mushroom people and turning them to stone. And they're on their way to help. And then when they get there, there's no one
one
around.
there.
Or, well, we certainly wish there hadn't been. We certainly wish there hadn't been. You heard that too, huh?
Yeah.
I said certainly.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Because they are greeted by 3 mushrooms.
3 stooge-esque mushrooms.
Yeah, these guys were pretty stoogey.
Yeah.
But before we get to the stooges, we find giant stone tablets with some of King Koopa's Koopmandments on them. And I don't have these memorized, but Koopmandment number 1. Thou shalt give Koop Tut all your gold coins. Koopmandment number 2. Thou shalt hire no plumbers. And Koopmandment number 6. Thou shalt eat no pasta. Which really gets under Mario's skin.
I have a question about Commandment 2 and the legality of it.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean that plumbers are allowed to work for free? They just can't accept money?
Maybe.
Or, if you find a plumber, do you have to stone them immediately?
Well, I know where we could find some bricks.
Oh.
But yeah, then we're greeted by the three mushrooms, Curly, Larry, and Momar. And yeah, they're exactly what you think they are. They're the Three Stooges, bad voices, really creepily caricatured features on their faces.
Can we take a second right now to talk about how bad the mushroom people are in this episode?
Well, we don't see the rest of them until the end.
But we might as well get it out so we don't forget about it.
Yes, I agree. They're hideously ugly.
This is the worst version of mushroom people. I almost wish it was real people instead.
Yeah.
I almost wished for James Blonde and Koopa as Koopfinger.
Yeah, that was awful.
Yeah.
Well, the worst was that giant, muscular Red Grant Koopa Troopa. In the Speedo.
Kinda.
See, now that you remember the Speedo.
I disliked Mouser more.
What? Odd Job Mouser with his bowler hat?
Yeah.
And weird Fu Manchu mustache?
Yes. I'm just surprised they knew who Fu Manchu was.
Oh. But yeah. No, they're... the rest, when you see the rest of the mushroom people at the end of the episode, they're drawn in a similar pointy-nosed human face caricature style as the Stooges. And they're all hideously ugly.
Yeah.
Class after class of ugly, ugly children. But these Three Stooges are pretty annoying. And unfortunately, they only have one use left. We cut to King Koop Tut being fanned by the first on-screen appearance of a female Koopa Troopa, fanning him with a palm leaf. You can tell by the shape. And Mouser comes in to deliver some bad news and is told that Koopa hates bad news. So he delivers good news. They can take that cruise on... Does he say the Nile? Just straight up the Nile? Or...
I think so.
Yeah, on the Nile.
And if you want an Amazon or an African Nile cruise, you can reach out to Aaron Shanahan, the travel plan man.
You can. But, basically, Koop Tut has... he's using the bricked mushroom people to build a sphinx of himself, the Koopinks.
I just can't believe all those mushroom people were just bricked up.
I know. They must have been running an old version of Linux. But they're short some bricks. And yes, we made that joke of that scene from The Simpsons with the cinder blocks.
Insert here.
Yeah, might as well.
Homer, we have a perfectly good bookcase.
Yeah, but this is what they're doing on campus. Besides, it isn't costing us. I swiped the cinder blocks from a construction site.
Sir, 6 cinder blocks are missing.
There'll be no hospital then. I'll tell the children.
But they decide... Apparently they know that they're missing those Three Stooges. Whatever they are. And so Koopa's got a magic staff again that turns mushrooms to stone. So he and Mouser and Koopa Troopa and Triclyde?
And Triclyde.
And Triclyde get in a chariot.
The Koopa Pack.
Yeah, it's a Koopa Pack attack thing. He says that a few times.
But Princess Toadstool said it this time.
The first time, yeah, that's the Koopa Pack coming to attack.
Yeah.
Yeah. She had a couple good lines in this. Hopefully we remember them. Excuse me. Hopefully we remember them.
Yeah.
Really mushmouth today. But first...
They must pillage the village.
Yeah. So they show up, and they're coming towards them, and Mario says, well, there's only one thing to do. And Luigi says, run away?
Run for our lives?
No, stand and fight.
I was afraid you'd say that.
Yeah. And then after he finishes that sentence, he looks towards the camera and points at Mario. Instead of at the same time, where it might have almost been funny.
Yeah.
But Mario, Luigi, and Toad and the Princess arm themselves with plungers and charge at the bad guys. Well, the Stooges are launching pies off catapults at them.
Yeah. As you would expect from the mushroom people.
Yeah. Now, what was towing the chariot? Do you remember?
I have no idea.
It's being pulled by an Ostro.
Oh.
So this time I kept the page up so I can have a cheat sheet because I knew I was not going to remember this episode very well. And yeah, the Ostro gets hit by the first pie, which makes them crash, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
And then, while everybody's fighting, the Stooges launch more pies, all the bad guys duck, and all the good guys get hit by them. We made an inappropriate joke at that point.
Yeah. You can just imagine it.
Yeah. But then Koopa says, magic staff, do your trick, turn those mushrooms into bricks. And it turns out they turn into a pile of bricks, like regular building bricks.
So it's not one brick per person.
Yeah, because I was going to say, what's so good about having 3 more blocks to build your Sphinx out of?
You were short 3 blocks and you just didn't go, it's like, well, maybe we can just space it out a little.
Yeah. I got an idea. Take the nose off and use some of those.
Yeah.
But we never see... Do we see them box up the bricks and haul them away?
No.
No, I didn't think so. But apparently he'll send someone down for those bricks later.
Yeah.
As long as he gets away with the staff, it's fine. Meanwhile, the Marios and the Toads are caught in a net.
Yeah.
And chucked into a pyramid.
For some reason, I thought they were in the Sphinx, and then I was confused later on.
Yeah. No, it's in one of the Pyramid Land pyramids.
Yeah.
And
on the ground floor.
Yeah.
Which I have to mention right now, because it makes no sense later as well.
No, it doesn't. We'll get to that. So they're out of the net, but they're trapped inside the pyramid, which takes a long time for the door to shut, and everyone just stands there and watches it.
And Luigi says, I want my mummy.
Yeah. And Mario's like, would you settle for a mummy? And then they're chased by the horrifying and overpowering aura of a single Goomba wrapped in bandages. And the 4 of them run away from this one single Goomba wrapped in bandages.
Yes.
Which is where the cover song starts coming in.
Which is Walk Like an Egyptian.
By the Bangles.
And it's not a good cover song.
Not a good cover song or not a good match for the episode?
Yes.
Special thanks as always to the Super Mario Bros. Super HQ channel on YouTube, link in the description below, for the cover song.
I thought that Koopa mummy was scary, but look! Jump for it!
I thought the cover sounded about right, from what I could hear. The only surviving copy is a pretty low quality.
Yeah.
It sounded like a decent enough cover from what we heard.
And then there was the one YouTube video of it that we saw beforehand that they restored the cover song.
Yeah, this wasn't the usual restored video. We just we had to watch a few minutes of the end of the episode to refresh ourselves, and then I was like, oh, this one had the commercial break bumpers. I wonder if this is one of those ones where the guy restored the music.
They did.
Yeah.
Over top of the other music.
Yeah, you could hear both.
Yeah. We're like, oh no, they didn't. And then all of a sudden it's like, wait.
Yeah. Yeah, because you could hear a bit of the... I think I read that one is called Mega Move. All these are from the Mario 3 cartoon. It's like that one with the barking is called A Dog's Life, or It's Not Easy Being a Dog, or something. You know what the worst part is? In the Mario 3 cartoon, that song has lyrics.
Oh.
Because, yeah, instead of cover songs, for the most part, they used original songs. That's almost worse.
I'm actually kind of excited for that.
Yeah, well.
Don't be.
We'll see. I don't remember it very well. All I know is that they did have Milli Vanilli songs in there for at least one airing. Get to that. That sounds... Didn't I say that in episode 1?
I think you might have.
I think I might have too. So, they run away from this Goomba to the dulcet tones of Walk Like an Egyptian, so they're ignoring the song. Fair enough. And they're being, all of a sudden, at the other end of the road is a Phanto mask from Mario 2, which was pretty cool to see. That's the only time so far we've seen one. And it's just as horrifying as it is in the game.
Yes.
There's a biblically... There's nothing ruins a joke more than when you choke on your words. It's a biblically accurate Phanto. So...
Sometimes choking on the words makes things funnier, though.
Makes thing funnier, yes.
Yeah.
So, thinking they're cornered, they realize there's a giant button that says escape hatch or exit or emergency exit. What does it say?
Emergency exit button?
Yeah. An emergency exit, and presses the button, which opens up a trap door, which Mario and Co. fall through it and slide down a really long slide to escape the pyramid. Which brings us to the point Aaron was making earlier.
They were on the ground floor.
Yeah.
And they escaped at ground level.
Yeah.
After going down 15 stories of slides.
My only guess is that the front of the pyramid, it's like one of those houses that's built into the side of a hill. So the front door is on the top of the hill, and then the garage and stuff is down and out along the hill. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Anyway, somehow they go down this long slide and end up back on the ground floor, and big brick wall parts, and they get out.
We forgot what actually made the Goomba so frightening. On the way, there was a snake in a jar.
Oh, yeah. They had to...
Jump over.
They jumped over a single... That's also from Mario 2. The snakes that come up, like the piranha plants in Mario 1. But I mean, they jump over it instead of going around the jar.
Yeah.
Even though there was quite a bit of space on either side of the jar.
And then the Goomba also jumps over it.
So yeah, this is a jumping Goomba. So maybe they were right to be frightened, because this thing is obviously the king of all Goombas, not counting that Goomba King in Mario 64.
Yes. I should really play through that one time.
I think it's only a Mario 64 for the DS. But yeah, Mario 64 is a good game.
I disagree.
Really?
I just didn't like it. Not my cup of tea.
You'd rather play Sunshine.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
a much better story in my eyes.
I'm not talking about the story. I'm talking about gameplay.
Okay, then, you know what? It has a good message, and the gameplay is cleaning up the environment.
No, I'm talking about the actual mechanical gameplay.
And can I use my backpack as a jetpack in 64?
No, and that is a good mechanic. I'm not saying it's not better, but all your arguments were all, I like the message. It's like, okay, go watch Captain Planet, you freaking hippie.
I will.
Fine. So, their master plan for fixing everything is King Koopa falls asleep on his throne, and Mario sneaks in and grabs his staff and runs off with it.
And uses it to turn the... Oh, we also missed out on one line when the Koopa pack was coming to attack at the village. Because we got our first ever Princess Toadstool mushroom power.
Pasta
power.
Yeah, the princess says that they're going to have to face pasta power, or it's time for pasta power. But yeah, so the pasta power count has gone up.
To 19.
Yeah, we're at 19 as of episode 42. So that's pretty cool. Of course, it won't be as much of a surprise once we get to the writer, because it's the guy who wrote the last episode the pasta power went up in. So Mario points the staff at the Sphinx, let's just call it. I'm not saying Koopinks too many times today. And does a rhyme that I don't remember, and it restores all the mushroom people.
Yeah.
Those ugly motherfuckers.
It's the worst. These are the worst character designs I've seen in this show.
Yeah, pretty close. Pretty close, because again, they're all just...
And none of them are wearing anything but diapers.
Well, that too, yeah, that's... Yeah. Yeah, they're not...
They're not dressed.
If that was the worst part of their character design, we wouldn't even have mentioned it.
Yeah.
But no, they've all got hideous human caricature faces. I guess to make the Three Stooges ones not stick out. So instead you make them all awful.
Yeah.
So, and at one point the princess tells Koopa to let her mushroom people go. So, there is that.
Yes.
So she says the line, but Mario's the Moses because he leads them towards the Red Sauce Sea and uses the staff to part it.
Yeah.
And everyone gets across. The Koopa Pack are chasing them in the chariot again, and Mario...
And there's missing dialogue.
Yeah, it's one of those... The princess points down to warn Mario that the Koopas are coming.
But doesn't say anything.
No one says anything. It's one of those.
It's like 10 seconds of silence where it looks like there should be... It sounds like there should be something.
Well, there was music.
There's music, but it sounds like there should have been something else. Like, I'll get you, I'm coming for you, Mario.
Yeah. You drain brains, or whatever. Koopa had some good faucet freak lines in this that I don't remember, but some of them were pretty good. Yeah, Mario throws the staff into the sea, which causes the sea to unpart, and...
drown everyone.
Yeah, we should be so lucky. No, the Koopa Pack are paddling back on... What was it they were floating on?
I think that was their...
Chariot?
Yes.
Okay.
My mind was loading.
I think Koopa was on like some white thing. I don't know what. But anyway, yeah, Koopa says it's enough to make a grown Koopa cry. And the princess is wondering how they should celebrate. And instead of suggesting walking through the desert for 40 years, Mario says they should have a big spaghetti feast. We already have the sauce. Just needs to find out where they can get 100 billion tons of pasta.
Where we know where to get that. That's Pasta Land.
Yeah, you were already there.
Yeah.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. The iris comes in.
Yeah.
So that's the 10 Koopmandments.
We cut to live action and we hate it.
Yeah, it was... And the animation was really kind of bad in this one, too.
Yeah.
We'll go over some of those in a bit. But, yeah, overall feelings, pretty bad.
Some of the worst.
Yeah, this is one of the worst cartoons. This might be the worst one since, let's see.
2 plumbers and a baby.
Yeah. Sewer Service, which we just didn't like on a visual sense.
Yeah.
The story was all right.
Stars in Their Eyes.
Yeah.
It's a shame we disagree with Dr. Derp so much about that.
Yeah, it really just doesn't grab me, that one. All jokes about Wrath of Khan aside.
Yeah. It's the plumbing paraphernalia in the pants.
Yeah, that's a great bit, but it shouldn't be.
No.
You want me to do a best of some of these animation errors?
I want the worst of.
Okay. When Mario and his friends look at the 10 Koopmandments, Toad is larger than normal. When the Koopa Pack returns to the village, Koopa Troopa's face is completely yellow. This also happens when they are washed away in the Red Sauce Sea.
I think you pointed that out.
I think so. I think we saw something.
Yeah.
When Mario is about to use Koop Tut's staff, Toad is missing, but in the next shot he's in front of Princess Toadstool. When Koop Tut manhandles Mouser after learning the Koopinks' disappearance, Mouser's head disappears for a few frames. I remember I saw something blink.
Yeah.
When Koop Tut orders Mouser to command the Koopa Pack to attack, his shell turns the same color as the rest of his body. When Koop Tut kicks Mouser against his tent, the stripe on Mouser's loincloth is missing. I didn't notice that, but what I did notice is that they're inside the tent, and he kicks Mouser, and it looks like Mouser goes into a tent from the outside, the way the wall is angled. Does that ring a bell at all?
Yes.
Okay. You want to get into the cast?
I sure do.
So we got Lou Albano as Mario.
Is he a captain?
He might be. Danny Wells as Luigi. Jeannie Elias as Princess Toadstool, John Stalker as Toad, Mouser, Koopa Troopa, Mushroom Number 1, who I don't know which is which, but there's the 3 mushrooms, so... And Mushroom Number 3, so he's probably Larry and Moe, and then Harvey Atkin is King Koopa and Mushroom 2, so Curly.
Yeah.
Or Shemp, if you prefer, which nobody does. We'll get into the writer. It's Perry Martin again. He previously wrote King Mario of Cramelot, The Adventures of Sherlock Mario, Mario Meets Koopzilla, Koopa Claus with Jack Alesker, and The Unzappables.
Is he going to return?
Oh, yeah. I think we're about halfway down his list now.
Oh.
He wrote a few more Super shows, a couple 3s, and a couple Worlds, I think. I don't have the list up anymore. Plus, I don't want to ruin it. So, lore or filler?
Filler with a healthy sprinkling of lore elements.
Yeah, it's a filler episode that uses the lore. Specifically, Koopa turning the mushroom people into stone, or bricks in this case. Which is, and it's probably the most diabolical use of them, actually using them as building material instead of just lawn ornaments.
Yeah. It's also the trash that needs to be taken out.
Yes, it is. Which is a good segue into ratings. How do you rate this episode?
Oh, that is going to be a solid 2 bundles of bricks.
2 bundles of bricks? Okay, and I would say... I'm going to give it a 1.5 Moses Marios. Which sounds like a basketball player. Out of a possible 10.
Yeah.
So if you want to reach out to the show, you can leave a comment on the YouTube version of the episode.
Reach out at Facebook, Blue Sky, TikTok at The Animated Arcade.
And now, newly, we're on Tumblr as The Animated Arcade. I figured, why the hell not? So I've just been uploading some of the shorts up there for now, and there will be a couple episode posts by the time this goes out. So keep an eye on that. If you're one of those people who's still on Tumblr after they purged all the fun stuff, follow the show on Tumblr, and you'll get the usual stuff you get for following us everywhere else. We're also on Twitter X at Animated Arcade, because The Animated Arcade is 3 characters too long, I think. It's literally The Animated Arcade everywhere except Twitter.
Yes.
Which is why we save it for last. That happened to a similar podcast that I'm a fan of, the Batman the Animated Series podcast. Someone on Twitter already had their domain, even though they don't actually have a podcast, or don't anymore. And so there they have to be Batman TAS Pod 1, wherever else they're Batman TAS Pod. That's a show everyone should be listening to. It's a lot of fun. So, you want to do predictions?
Might as well.
Okay, the live action segment is called Zend Out Mario.
It's hippie.
It's finally going to happen? Because we've thought this before. And that turned out to be young McDonald.
I know, this time I'm a little bit more leaning towards it being hippie.
Okay.
It's gonna be Stoner Mario.
I'm gonna say one of those things like where he becomes a Dalai Lama or something. Zen Mario.
Okay.
Or maybe he's learning meditation. Okay, and the cartoon is The Koopas Are Coming. The Koopas Are Coming.
This goes back to the Revolutionary War.
Yeah.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts around it.
No, King Koopa's going to be the hated British, and there's going to be Red... I think he's actually going to be called Red Coat Koopa.
Yeah.
I think I had that ruined for me. Not ruined exactly, but you know what I mean.
Everything's ruined for this show.
Yeah, and there's going to be some weird, misplaced patriotism in this one.
Yeah, especially for this timeline.
Yeah. But we'll have to worry about our timeline next time. Because I'm John.
I'm Aaron.
And the airwaves
are our waves.
So until next time, everybody,
do the Mario!
Thanks for listening to The Animated Arcade. Our theme song is After School Keyboard Club by Xennial, sourced from freemusicarchive.org. Our logo and thumbnail art is done by Shell, who you can follow on Instagram at YourMidnightCrafter. The cover songs from the Mario-themed episodes are sourced from the Super Mario Bros. Super HQ channel on YouTube. These links, as well as the music used in our Zelda-themed episodes and all of our social media accounts, are found in the description.